Hello, and welcome back to Made of Pores. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's a very special May the 4th be with you collaboration. This has been a 3-day long event, and I'm here kicking off the 3rd day, so be sure to check out the playlist in the description so you can see all of the other artists in this collab's amazing work. And a big thank you to Donna M for hosting this very special event. Now, without any further ado, let's get to pouring.
Okay, so let's go over the palette here. Now, I have this Mars Black in Liquitex Basics, and this is gonna be the background color, the space, so to speak, and the outer space. And I opted for using the Mars Black as opposed to my Artist Loft Flow Acrylic, just because I didn't want there to be as many reactions. I feel like I do tend to get more cells and stuff when I use my Artist Loft Flow Acrylic. Now I also have this golden fluid in Carbon Black, and I just have a little bit of this mixed up, and this is to do my swiping with. I think I'm going to use that to swipe some of these out. I just find that it creates a beautiful lacing effect, this specific Carbon Black and golden fluid, so I want to get some of that going on. And then I have 2 golds here. I'm not going to lay them right next to each other, but I am going to use both in this painting. I'm sorry, I got these mixed up. Let's put the right golds where they go here. So this gold is the Deco Art 24 karat gold, and it is this is beautiful gold. I would say it's actually my second favorite gold. It's a little bit richer and a little bit deeper, but it is a beautiful gold, and I definitely recommend trying this paint out. If you haven't worked with Deco Art 24 karat gold, you should. It's a great paint. And then now this is my all-time favorite gold. This is the Iridescent Gold Fine by Golden Fluid Acrylic. It's a little bit softer, and there's just this is my jam right here. I love this color. If you watch my channel, you know I use this color. I'm moderately obsessed, so you gotta deal with that. I'm obsessed with that. I also have my Iridescent Pearl Fine here, which is another one of my favorites to use. And this is just because it blends with everything and makes everything look beautiful. It's just this beautiful iridescent, pearly. It's very subtle. It adds a lot of shimmer, and I consider it a blending color most of the time, and it is beautiful. And then last but not least, I have this Treasure Art in Fire Opal, which is actually one of my favorite colors. It's very coppery, but with some really kind of almost pink undertones. It's one of my favorite coppers to use. And I'm gonna actually have the copper be the center of this piece. So I have a few other colors mixed up that I might bring in, and if I do, you'll see it and I'll let you know. But for now, we're just gonna keep this really simple with 2 shades of gold, the iridescent pearl blending, and then the copper, okay? So let's get to painting. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of pour around. I finally have gotten gloves again, which is nice. I have another cup of this black paint. I don't know if I'm gonna need to use all of my second cup, but I have a feeling I'm gonna need to use a little bit. But first, let me just get what I've got. I've got my spatula. We're gonna just spread this across the canvas to get that base coat here. So sometimes, I paint with no vision. My vision is more in my colors or the technique. And then sometimes I actually kind of have a vision of what I want to accomplish. And this is one of those times where I have a vision of what I want to accomplish. Which, I'm gonna be honest, is not always the best idea with acrylic pouring. My usual advice is to go with the flow. And to be easy and kind on yourself. So I have a vision, but I'm also gonna be easy and kind with myself. I do want this paint to be in the center. I debated long and hard whether I wanted to go light to dark or dark to light. I opted with dark to light. That's just the best way to go about it, I think. Next, I'm actually gonna come in, let me think. Okay, I'm gonna come in with, this is the 24 karat gold. And I'm just gonna do a very thin circle layer of 24 karat gold around the Fire Opal. The 24 karat gold is a bit richer and deeper Then the iridescent gold fine. Gonna go light. There's a little bit of less on this right here. Oh, that's okay. And then I'm gonna come in with my iridescent pearl fine. Again, remember, this is like a blending color. So right now I'm kind of thinking about, I'm gonna try to go even lighter. And again, it's just for a blending effect. And then I'm gonna go around that with the iridescent gold fine. Again, 2 golds, very subtle difference with the blending in between. I probably could have just used 1 gold, but I don't know, I was feeling fancy, wanted to use both. Now, I'm actually gonna take the black, and this is gonna be very light amount right here in the circle center. I'm gonna pour that on. I drizzled it in with my popsicle stick. Now, for my swiping tool, I actually cut out, these are little cards, little index cards that I cut into even littler pieces. And if you notice, I tapered the edge there. And theoretically, that is just so I can kind of pull my swipes out into a point here. So we'll see if that works. I'm gonna start in the center, kind of pick up some of that copper, and we're gonna swipe it out. No harm, no foul in multi-layers of swiping. I almost always do more than 1 layer of swiping in these kind of paintings. We'll see. You can always do more than 1 layer of swiping. I think I'm gonna use some of my thicker ones, and then I'll use my skinny ones for my touch-ups as I go along. Also, again, you can add more paint as you know, it's just like there can be more than 1 layer of swipes. I've learned in my experience of doing these. Very subtle across the black, but it's pretty. So I'm kind of doing my big swipes first, and then I'm gonna use the other ones, my smaller ones, for the next layers, so to speak. We're kind of gonna get the base layer done. And I'm gonna go ahead and do another layer of gold around here. So it definitely reminds me a bit of a flower, a bit of a supernova. I knew that I would love all these colors blended together. I wasn't worried about the blend at all. And I knew that that carbon black will give me cool effects. I am going to turn my canvas. I should have maybe put this on a turntable, but I did not. And I'm turning this because it's just easier for me to swipe in that one direction. So it is what it is. All right. So I think those bigger cells are probably being caused by the 24 karat gold. They're kind of known for big cells like that, which is one of the reasons why it is a fun paint to use. Well, that definitely has like a really cool explosion-y effect, doesn't it? But we're not done. Oh no, of course we're not done. I'm not done playing yet. So since I'm really liking this effect over here, I'm gonna go ahead and sort of add another sort of circle of that 24 karat and the iridescent. I'm leaving my copper out. I went ahead and pulled that in. And just a little bit of my iridescent gold fine, because you know. And then I am gonna come in with a little drizzle of the copper, or the carbon black by Golden Fluid. Again, this is just because I feel like it helps add in some depth and cool, helps like kind of, I don't know, I just like what it does. I just like what this paint does. All right, but we're coming in for a little bit more here, or a lot of bit more. We'll see. We'll see. See when I decide that I'm done. Kind of wrecking up some of the first layer, but that's to be expected. And honestly, though, more will come. More will come. All right, I'm really liking that side. I'm gonna turn the canvas and we're gonna work on the other side. One nice thing about not going crazy with the flooding of the canvas, sorry about that. One of the nice things about not completely flooding the canvas is that the sides of this piece aren't like totally wet and dripping. So turning it is actually not that hard. I don't know if you can't really see it off canvas. I just have a little paper towel and I'm wiping my plastic off as I go so I can keep using that same piece of plastic. I don't know if you can hear the wind out there, but it is windy today. All right, now I'm gonna come in with my little swipers, my little pointy swipers again, and just add some details in this. All right. Space Explosion. Supernova Explosion. So I'm actually gonna take some gold and I just wanna kind of take it and literally like it out. But more with like, my idea with this is it's not so much of a swipe, it's actually more of like that hard. I can create like kind of a edgy. It's gonna be a little more edgy. I often find that popsicle sticks are some of my favorite tools to use in acrylic pouring. Simple, forgiving, accessible, and versatile. Like I use them for my mixing, but then I also use them for, you know, these kind of details as well. And I'm gonna do very similar with my iridescent pearl fine here. And I'm kind of like trying to form the idea. Now, obviously stars in the sky aren't the shape of stars, but you know, this is my painting, guys, my art, so. I am trying to create sort of a star effect in here. The shadow of a star, so to speak. And one last run through doing that same thing, but with a little bit more of the gold. And as I look at this, I do love the copper in the center, but I want more of my iridescent gold fine because that's kind of like, again, we talked about how I'm obsessed with my iridescent gold fine, so judge me not. I'm just taking my popsicle stick. Could I have just flooded this whole thing in black? Probably. There. Ah. All right, I am now hearing the little voice in my head say, stop before you hate it. So I'm gonna stop. I thought I was done before, then I needed to add more. Now, the little voice in my head is saying, no more. Let it dry, let it be. Old Beatles song. When you find yourself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Oh. All right. Got a little serenade, you guys. Sorry, it should have been a Star Wars song. You got a little Beatles song instead, but that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. I'm gonna come in now for another close-up. All right, okay. So here we are for the wet close-up. Of course, there's my center. Really digging that center now. And all of these awesome, cool cells and effects. As you know, I love my cells and effects. And then, now, it does kind of fade off, trail off, but it's still very shimmery throughout that explosion. So there it is, all wet, and you will see it momentarily. All dry. Let's go. Okay, here it is, all dry, and I have to say I am loving the dried results of this one here. Now, I decided not to add any stars to the background because I really loved how striking it was just as it is. So I'm gonna leave it this way, although I will varnish it eventually. And I'm gonna bring you in for a close-up of all these dried details, but I also wanted to say to be sure to check out the playlists of today's collaboration. This is a third annual May the 4th collaboration. I'm kicking off the third day here, so keep following along for the rest of today's artists. But also be sure to go and check in the first and second day because it's a 3-day long collaboration and I'm actually kicking off the final day here. And also a big thank you to Donna M. Thank you so much for putting on these incredible collaborations and thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to hit that like button. And if you enjoy watching acrylic paint pouring videos, well, consider hitting that subscribe button because that's what I do here. Thank you so much for watching. You know I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.